Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the show. I'm Billy, the host. Welcome back to the show. 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 I'm Billy, the host.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Billy, the host. I'm joined today by producer Trent Ludzack.
Yay, I'm here.
We are in Trent's Unnamed studio in beautiful Marietta, Georgia. Thank you, Keenan Thompson, for the opportunity.
Did you sign up for that?
No.
I
probably should, but I
don't know.
I don't do things that I should in comedy.
No.
That's kind of been my thing.
That's boring.
Trent has a dead homeless man somewhere under the house.
Apparently. Yeah, it smells. I don't know what happened. It's not bad in here.
That's what I was most worried about going down in the crawl space was like,
yeah,
we're going to find a dead human.
Yeah, I was worried about that too.
A dead human in beautiful Marietta,
But here's
Georgia.
the thing. I think a dead human would smell a lot worse.
Yeah.
I think it has to be like, I think it's like a dead squirrel.
I don't know,
mouse or
man.
something.
I got like a dead animal smell in my garage too. And I've been looked everywhere. I feel like it's just like I cannot figure it out.
I feel like that could be, if you look everywhere, does it become a landlord problem?
Yeah, probably. But I don't want to bother my landlord because my situation's good right now.
I'm very similar. I'm similar like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, just please don't kick me out of here for any reason.
Exactly.
Or be like, okay, you got to move out for a month while we fix this thing.
That would be a nightmare.
That's how it was at the computer store when we had to get our floors redone. We had to move everything out of there.
But if you have like renter's insurance, that should cover you staying somewhere.
I guess, but I got like a wife and a baby. And
yeah, that's a big headache for you.
Yeah.
That would be like a nice staycation for me.
I'd just be spraying like
I would just like get a hotel in Atlanta and then just be like, yeah, I'm just going to go to all the mics for a month.
Yeah, the Westin.
I don't know if they'd cover that.
Yeah, every hotel in Atlanta is kind of expensive.
Yeah, it'd be the Motel 6.
I thought like, if you get a hotel in downtown Atlanta, that's like a nice hotel. Like you're gonna be having a good time. So when I went to Denver, I got a hotel in downtown Denver, and that's the last place you want to get a hotel in Denver. Yeah, it was right next to like a halfway house.
Ooh, good.
People were like catcalling my wife as she walked by.
Man,
and
that's not what you want.
Yeah, it was so bad we had to like get a different hotel. We had to move to like the Sheridan.
Go out into the burbs a little bit.
Yeah. I think Atlanta, like you kind of do want to get a hotel in the suburbs too, because otherwise you're gonna be spending like $400 on a hotel room.
Yeah, but I mean, I lived in a hotel for the first 6-7 months I was in Georgia. And it was an extended stay hotel. It was not a suburbs hotel that I would say you want to stay in.
No. There's definitely some bad ones. But like the Holiday Inn Express or something in Kennesaw is like, that's a good
decent
bet right there.
Yeah. I mean, Holiday Inn Express is like, they've all renovated fairly recently, I feel like. So they're like not bad right now.
Hotel rooms are expensive, man. Like, like a decent one is like $200 a night at least.
Nah,
feels like.
A decent one. You're right. I don't stay in decent ones. I'm like a Super 8 guy.
Yeah. That's how I am. That's how I was with the band. If we had to get a hotel room, it'd be like Red Roof Inn.
Yeah.
$53.
Well, but now you can. So like Super 8 and like the cheaper ones. Yeah. They're all owned by the bigger companies, so you can get points for those companies.
Yeah.
By like booking through an app. So I'm doing that. So
I was doing hotels.com.
I'll be able to vacation in a nice hotel off of, points that I got from staying at Super 8s. That's the goal.
I was doing hotels.com, and you can get like, it's like a punch card every time you stay. Like,
wait, a literal punch card?
Well, it's like a digital punch card.
Okay.
Like
that would be so funny if hotels.com was mailing you a physical punch card.
Like a Subway card.
And then you had to mail it back to them every time you booked so that they could punch it and then send it back to you.
Nah, but you would buy like 10 hotel rooms and get a free one. And so I would buy like the really shitty like $40 ones and then get like a free $150 one.
Yeah.
And that was the scam. That's what I did at the North Carolina festival.
Did I ever tell you about when I was working in the worst part of Colorado, like a year and a half ago, maybe almost 2 years ago? I found my favorite shitty hotel I've ever stayed at in my life. Because it was like I was working in this town where the best place to stay, I think it was called Lamar, Colorado.
Okay.
Which is like right on the border of Kansas.
Sounds nice.
And it's just right next to Kansas. Also, sober town.
Yeah.
Or like they don't have
dry
not dry, but they don't have whatever the weed version of that is.
Oh yeah.
So that it's Colorado's town that doesn't have weed, but they don't have like one really shitty hotel that I'm like, I don't know if I want to stay there.
What's the point then?
They don't have a coffee shop.
Jeez.
Or no, sorry, they have a coffee shop, but it's closed, and I need to like go somewhere with Wi-Fi. So I go to the bar. I'm in the bar. I'm hanging out. I'm like, well, I might as well drink because I'm going to sleep in my car tonight again. And then I get talking to this guy. I'm like, oh, he's the owner of this place. Oh, he owns basically like a strip of like 10 motel rooms that are basically attached to the back of the bar building.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, those used to be really bad. Like, he's like, those used to be.
Now that I own it, it's just pretty bad.
Well, I'll get that. He's like these rooms used to go by the hour.
Yeah.
Like that kind of bad.
Nice.
He's like, I bought it like a year and a half ago.
Pimps and hoes.
And I'm slowly renovating it. Like, he's not doing it all at once, but he's turning it into a rock and roll theme motel. But it's like in the work still.
So you
like,
can do heroin.
Like the office is still you can still do heroin.
It's
there,
classy, yeah.
but you got to stay the whole night. None of this by the hour business, you know?
Yeah.
You can't just go in there to shoot up. You also have to sleep in there. But no, so I find out that he's like renovating it and he's like renting it. Basically on a meet me at the bar basis.
Nice.
Like there's not a front office that's even open. Like so the front office still has hotel room furniture that they haven't like placed in yet.
He gives you like an ocular pat down first to decide if
basically, yeah,
if
just
you're worthy
sees
of
if you're
doing
a cool
heroin
dude.
in his motel.
I think he's making sure you're not going to do heroin in his hotel.
Yeah, yeah. Well, then what's the hotel for?
Bro, it's for people like me who would love to have a $30 room that's, I mean, clean, like run down and old, but like they're working on it. For $30 for like, you know, $30 a night. Pretty good.
That's pretty good.
I got a shower.
Yeah, I can't beat it. I saw recently like Motel 6 was doing like if you're in a rock and roll touring band, stay at Motel 6. I was like, screw you, man. Every time I pull up to the Motel 6 with like 6 dudes in the van, they're like, nah, ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because they think we're all gonna like have a gay sex orgy or something.
Yeah, well, you might.
I mean, it's on the table, but
back in those days.
Where are we supposed to go?
Yeah. Exactly. Apparently, wait, they were advertising. This is a recent advertisement?
Yeah, it was like they had like an actual band as like the spokespeople, and they were like, "Oh, after your show, get a room at the Motel 6." I was like, "That ain't how it works."
So they must have changed their policy.
You got to pretend that you're the only one staying in that room in order to get.
And then once they give you the key card to the back door,
you like we used to do it where like we would be like, okay, stagger it. Like I'll get my stuff and go in. Unlock the door. I'll prop the door open. Then after that, you go get all your stuff and come in. Then wait 5 minutes. Then you go and then wait 5 minutes.
Wow.
And we all have to like stagger it.
Would they ever like catch anybody? Would they ever be like, that's like four dudes I don't recognize in a row?
We used to play Panama City a lot, and they would get mad at us. They would be like, nah.
Are you saying that Motel 6 in Panama City
not
is against
Motel
bands?
6. Not Motel 6.
Okay, that one was cool in Panama City.
Because Panama City is usually like some just like privately owned motel, like
the place I was staying at.
Sunnyside Inn or something like that.
The Sunnyside Inn.
That's probably a real place.
I bet
they were all real uncreative.
I bet there's a bunch of them.
Yeah. They were like not that creative with the names down there.
Yeah. I love non-creative name. I love like just a truck stop.
Yeah. What I would like.
There's also the two creative names.
Tom's Truck Stop or something like that.
Yeah. Mama's Diner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever see like the two specific? I think the Plantation House is a very good.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one.
Where that one, if you don't know, it's on 75. Apparently they're closed down finally. I guess the pandemic finally got them.
Yeah.
But it's two gas stations, two truck stops that have a lot of billboards.
I think I stopped there before.
Really?
I'm sure we have.
Well, the whole thing is that they're like shitty buildings, like very clearly truck stop buildings, but they're like built up to kind of look like a plantation building, which in like South Georgia is a statement, buddy.
Yeah, that's not what you want, I don't think.
No. And I think one of them is not far from where you can see a giant Confederate flag off the highway.
Yeah, you're talking about like the waving flag or the one where it's like a barn and the
waving,
Confederate
like
flag
the
is
like flying flag.
Yeah, there's one in Alabama, I think, on the way to Florida.
Dude, there's one in Georgia on the way to Florida off 75.
There used to be like this little ranch by where I lived, like right over here, that had a Confederate flag and a Trump flag flying on a pole right next to each other. I was like, that's pretty bold.
Yeah. Those are, I mean, live in the past or live in the present. Pick one, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, if you want to have your political beliefs, that's fine, but you're like...
Don't yell them.
Advertising that to everyone in Marietta.
Yeah.
Probably not a good idea.
I don't get like putting any of that information out to like everybody.
You ever do Happy Hour Comedy Club in Anniston?
No.
That's an interesting spot.
It's an interesting spot.
It's in like a strip mall, and then right across the street is like a Travelers Motel. And
Good.
I stayed in that Travelers Motel one time, and then like the next time I did, and I've only done it with like E. Craig, and I think Derulio was running a show there, and I was like, and he'll offer you a free hotel room. I guess he's friends with the motel or whatever, and it was just like after the first time, I was like, I'm good. I'll drive home.
Yeah,
I don't care how tired I am.
Jesus,
or how few people were at that show.
I did a show in what's that town called? Dothan, Alabama.
Yeah.
If you ever been down there.
I have been to Dothan.
Venue called Cowboys.
Okay.
It's a big ass place. I went to hang out the night before with the guy who ran the show. So I was like featuring, doing 20 minutes. And it's a big ass room. Outside the night before, it's like fairly busy. They have like one of those light up signs that like goes through the events, and it like goes through like a few advertisements. Like they literally have advertiser, like a dental office.
Yeah.
And then there's like two slides that are like Trump slides.
That's how you get that money.
And then, oh no, sorry. I messed up. It's my name, or it's comedy show, my name, two Trump slides.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
I'm like, oh, good. And then I went
I didn't sign off on this.
I think there were 15 people in the room, including the other comics, the sound guy, and the bartender.
It's like a big like country dance club.
Yeah.
I've done those before. I did one in Bristol, Tennessee, and then like later I was talking to the guy that runs the comedy club while we were in North Carolina. I was talking to that guy.
Yeah.
I was like, what's that roadside like country dance place or whatever? He's like, I never heard of it. I was like, okay. So
Wow.
neither has anybody else in Bristol.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That means that they're. It's not just they weren't advertising the show well. It was they're not advertising their business well.
Huge place though. But sometimes, man, you show up to these shows and like the regular customers are just there and they just want to dance and like
That's a problem.
and try to get laid and stuff, and it just goes horribly wrong.
That same show in Dothan the night before, and you know the show producer. Rack your brain. I bet you could figure it out.
Dothan.
The
The only people I know in Alabama is like Roy Harrison.
He's not in Alabama. He's around here.
Okay.
Booked it.
John Locken.
So the night before,
I only needed one guest once I knew.
Yep. He's like, let's go to this spot where we've done comedy and I'm trying to do comedy in the future. And we'll show up, we'll talk to the people a little bit, we'll see if they'll let us like do some comedy when the DJ takes a break.
Yeah. Not a good combination.
I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. And he's like, well, it'll be fine. We'll do it. And then basically like through me basically saying no consistently through the whole thing, but then just kind of going with his direction while saying no, I ended up doing comedy, standing on the corner of a DJ booth for like a nightclub setting. Like a nightclub and the DJ's taking a break. So everybody's just talking and drinking.
Yeah. They've already decided, like,
Yeah.
I'm going out to get laid tonight.
Yeah. And I don't want to hear this white guy just get up in front
Those
and
are
talk.
the worst, man.
It was pretty rough.
That's the only time where, like, I felt like I was in danger for my life was, like...
I slept in my car that night, too, for that one. And then... Actually, that one, it was funny. I got the cops knocked on my window in the middle of the night.
Nice.
And I was hammered.
Hey, buddy, you need some Narcan?
Yeah. It's funny because I was hammered, and this really tells you what Dothan's like. Because I was like real drunk, sleeping, like an hour into sleep, and they knock on the window, and they wake me up, and I roll the window down. There's no way they don't know that I'm hammered.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, we're just checking to make sure that, you weren't doing anything crazy, making sure you're sober and okay. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm definitely sober. Sleeping in the car with the car
on.
They can
just
take
one look at you until you're sober.
Keep the AC on, But no, they were like, yeah.
They just were making sure you weren't dead.
Yeah, they were making sure I wasn't dead, and they were making sure probably that I didn't, like, pass out with a needle in one arm they couldn't see.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, in order to get a DUI in Dothan, you have to be drunker than the cop that knocks on your window.
Yeah, you definitely do.
That's a challenge. It's like, all right, buddy, just making sure you're okay. I got a wife to beat.
Yep. These Coors Lights ain't going to drink themselves, boy. Let's hurry it up.
These women ain't going to DM themselves on Instagram. I'm on the clock. I thought about, like, how funny would it be to apply to that one town in Tennessee's police department?
Oh, where that one lady was.
And just say in your, like, resume that you can finish off 5 guys at once.
I thought you were going to say it would be funny to apply to the Uvalde Police Department because they're not going to make you do anything dangerous. Like, this is the safest police job in the country, guys.
Yeah. That was pretty bad, right? Like,
no, it was really bad. I saw, there were videos of them holding parents back. Like, where parents are literally like, I have to save my child.
Are you crazy? That guy has a gun in there.
And the cops are like, no, I will arrest you if you do that.
Yeah.
And you're like, holy shit, man.
Yeah, if you pussies aren't going to go in there, I'm going to go save my child. That's wild.
That was pretty... if anywhere should defund their police department.
Isn't it weird how you can just watch people die on the internet as long as they blur it out?
Yeah, I mean, they don't even blur it sometimes.
As long as they pixelate them.
Not always.
It's like most of the videos I watch,
A lot of them are bad quality.
The body cam footage, it's like,
Yeah.
as soon as that guy gets pixelated, you know what happened.
Uh-oh. No, I'm talking about like the foreign country ones.
Yeah.
Like, you ever see the guy that fell in a pot of soup until he died? There's like a guy that was hammered, just kind of like walking around in like a village, and there's like a giant pot of stew for like the village, and it's boiling, and it's been boiling for a while, and he just like leaned on it and fell in, and nobody realized this guy's just boiling in the stew.
You think they still ate that stew?
Yeah. What else?
We're not going to let a whole pot of stew go to waste.
I mean, here's the thing.
Depends on how hungry I was.
Now it's pork stew, you know? Just think of it that way. You don't have to...
I read something about how, like, people in New York used to eat human meat unknowingly. Like, people would just fall into the
probably a lot.
Production stuff, and no one would notice.
So that kind of shit is the where the Packers name comes from. It's the meat packers were these like horrible motherfuckers that was like anything that they could grind and sell you as beef. They would.
Squirrels.
And they were just dirty, fucked up dudes.
Crows.
And the Green Bay Packers are such an old team that their name stems from that time.
How do we survive this long, man? I think about all like the safety
by
precautions.
Pretending everything's okay.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how.
I think about like the baby stuff, like all the safety precautions for babies. I'm like, they didn't have all this like 1,000 years ago.
No, Billy's going
like,
natural.
Yeah, just throw that thing in the back seat.
Baby, these are stairs.
Let it bounce.
You better
around.
figure them out real quick.
I'm sure they didn't really have like the fancy car seats and stuff in the 80s and 70s.
When did seatbelts come out?
Yeah,
seatbelts came out weirdly late.
Seatbelts for a while, but they had babies. And you can't sleep in the bed with your baby because it'll die. There's so many things you can't do with a baby or else it'll die.
Yeah, it seems like a lot. And I mean, you're going through it.
What year was the Scat Band released? I like how that's...
we've looked that up on a podcast before. Seatbelt was invented in 1885. That's a lot. That's a lot earlier than I thought it was.
But when was the baby car seat invented? $1962.
A British journalist. Man, journalists used to do stuff.
Dude, they've always been pussies.
Bro, this looks so dangerous.
Yeah, that is not a car seat. Look at that thing.
It's got a little wheel for the baby, though. I mean, that kid looks pretty... dude, if you crash, that baby
is... in the front seat, too, it looks like. Or maybe that's one of those old cars.
Nah, that's the front seat. You can see the wheel.
I see the steering wheel.
Bro, that it looks like if you got in a crash, that baby would go forward just fast enough to cut it in half on that metal bar you've got right there.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Decapitated.
You gotta...
at least your baby's death would be smooth and painful. Painless.
An immediate death.
Well,
if we may... I can't do a British accent, so...
Oi, governor. Yes, yeah, baby. 1962. That's not that long ago.
No. It was a while ago.
What? How did all these babies make it?
A lot of them didn't.
That was before like my parents were born, or after my parents were born, I think.
A lot of them didn't make it. That's the answer, Billy. People used to have a lot more kids for a reason.
And that is a lot of this baby safety stuff. It's just like 1 or 2 babies died from this, so they rewrote the whole playbook.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I mean, some of it is just like somebody saw an idea and was like, or had an idea and was like, I bet a bunch of babies wouldn't die every year if we did that instead.
Yeah.
And then you just got to convince a bunch of people.
Yeah, then they're like, whoa, we've just been letting babies die like crazy.
Yeah, but sometimes didn't they like Didn't they shun the guy that said we should all wash our hands the first time?
Yeah, what a nerd.
Fucking pussy.
Shut up, nerd.
Nah, man, eat dirt. Force your baby to eat dirt. That's what you should do.
Well, dudes, I think in like ancient Rome, you used to just like use your hand to wipe your shit off of your ass, and
Yeah, probably.
then it was like, this is my shit hand. So
Some people definitely still do that.
it was like you would have one hand for shit and one hand for food. So it's
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna eat my food with this hand, and I'm gonna wipe my shit with this hand.
Yeah,
And then you never thought about like using water to wash that off.
pretty crazy. It's imagine never doing this, bro.
Yeah.
You can't clap.
You can't rub your eyes like
The
this,
most
you know?
joyless societies.
Just rubbing shit in your eyes.
You can't clap. Like, what are you doing? Can you snap? Is that where snapping comes from?
I guess that's why like the bubonic plague took out a lot of people, right? Because they were just gross.
I mean, yeah, that. There were a lot of contributing factors.
I think a plague is gonna hit New York one of these days. There's so
Yeah.
many rats, and they act like they don't know. They act like there's no solution to the rats, but then you go to New York and it's like the garbage system, because whatever, like the trash unions or whatever, they went on strike or something, so everybody started throwing their garbage in the street, and that's still the system to this day. Is like when you have a full bag of garbage, you go put it out on the sidewalk, and then the trash man comes and picks it up.
Really,
Yeah. And
that's
then they're
crazy.
like, we don't know how to get rid of all these rats. It's like, get your garbage off the sidewalk.
Get bins.
Yeah. Have you ever seen those like neighborhoods where the bins are recessed into the ground and you drop the trash into the hole in the ground and then it has like a steel latch?
And then it just stays down there forever.
Nah, somebody comes and picks it
No,
up.
it goes into a dumpster, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like apartment buildings have that.
Yeah.
I stayed in a place that had that for a while. It was pretty nice.
That's why I could never live in New York, man, because it's just every sidewalk is covered in garbage.
Yeah, that I haven't been there.
At least like Manhattan or whatever, like in the city. I wouldn't live there.
Yeah. But I mean, even if you live not that far, like the driving is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So now you just got to Uber?
You could take the train. If you live in like New Jersey,
That's
you
probably
could
still
take
not good.
You can have like the picket fence and the house in New Jersey, and then take the train into New York. But yeah, you're
That's a lot to do.
You're wasting like an hour at least
Each way, probably.
Yeah.
Not worth it. And
No.
also, how nice is the train, you think?
I mean, it's nicer than like MARTA, I would say.
I've always heard they smell like shit.
Yeah, it's a lot of people, right? And a lot of people are just kind of living there. I think Seven
That's
used
good.
to live on the trains in New York for a while.
Oh, really?
Or he would like leave his car somewhere, and then he would just go in the city and do comedy and sleep at the train station.
That's wild. Really?
Yeah, you should ask Seven about
Bro,
his,
Seven's a fucking...
his New York days.
I didn't know he was ever in New York.
He would sleep in his Jeep, and he told me he would sleep at the train station if he didn't want to go all the way back to where his car was.
So did he just decide one day, like, I'm going to go somewhere else?
You can't get his past out of him. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You can't get his, like, who he is.
No.
I don't even know his name.
No. I mean, I've heard it because people slipped up when
Well,
he first started showing up.
Like Marshall.
Yeah.
But that was just an alias he was going by at
Oh,
the time.
really?
That's what he would put on the open mic sign up was Marshall, and then he changed it to Seven
Really?
when he went through like when Snoop Dogg changed it to Snoop Lion. That was kind of
Yeah.
like that.
Do you think that he's going to keep it, though, or is he going to go back to Marshall?
I think he'll change it to something else. I don't think Marshall is his real name either.
But wouldn't that be a good way to throw people off the scent? Would be like if I moved somewhere to be like,
Trent.
I'm using a fake name. My fake name is Trent.
Yeah, I could get away with it.
Yeah, for sure. You could get away with it for a while, and then when people start to pick up, my name's Seven.
I tell people my name is Billy Willig, and they're like, "Is that your real name?" I'm
Yeah.
like, "Well, it's William Willig, but I don't really feel like explaining that to you."
I sort of thought it was fake the first time I heard it. I'm pretty sure. I was
Yeah.
like, Really?
It's a curse. It makes people take me less serious when they first meet me
It's
until they realize that it's my actual name.
But then it's like, oh, and you're also a comic, which is a really good comedy name.
Yeah, but it is weird because it's like the name is William Willig and the nickname is Billy. So you don't usually put both together, but with comedy you kind of have to. So
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Who knows, man? It's all dumb.
Yeah, it's stupid. Who cares? That's why I want to get to the point where I'm big enough that it's just Billy. Like, you know who they're talking about.
I don't think that'll ever, because there's like, it's a common enough name, I feel like.
Yeah. But you know, you talk about like,
that's like, so
you're
you're trying to hit like household name.
you talk about like Joe Rogan and you just say Rogan, everybody knows who you're talking about.
Yeah, that's not that common though.
True.
Rogan.
Yeah.
There's not a ton of those. I mean, there's a few around, but I'm sure it's very confusing for them. But
there's lots of people with the first name Rogan.
no way.
It's a popular baby name right now.
That's fucking. Are you serious? Wait, are you fucking with me?
The name Rogan, yeah, is a first name. Boy name of Irish origin. Roadhagen.
I don't like that.
Roadhagen. I don't really like it either. But you see a lot of like girls named Rogan now.
Isn't Rogan WAP though? Why does he have an Irish name?
That's his last name. Though.
I know. Which
I
is
think
why it extra
they're saying
doesn't make sense.
it's a first name from Irish origin, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, baby name right there.
That's a what a
who else is another single name, household name?
another single household name.
Yeah.
Shaq.
Shaq, yeah, but that's Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah. Yeah. So see, you can shorten it. It's
but
fun.
it is a nickname.
Tua. Tua's a fun one. Have I ever showed you what Tua's full first name is? I want you to try to read it on this podcast, okay?
I don't know who Tua is. Is that a musician?
He's this football player.
Oh, I don't watch football either.
So
Tua.
here's the thing. No, it's here we go. Yeah, it's hard to find his first name.
Oh my goodness. Whoa, okay, am I allowed to say that? Oh, wow. Whoa.
No, you're not.
I don't think I'm allowed to say that. Tua Naija Manuolepola.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Oh, Donnie. I can say Donnie.
Yeah, there's a reason he shortened it.
Dude, he's got a name like that, and he goes to the University of Alabama, or he did.
He plays for Miami now.
He'd be in trouble, man.
No, he plays for Miami now. This guy? Yeah. No, he's good.
Yeah, I'm not saying that.
But, no, that was like, one day, I don't know what I was doing, but I was just like, no way that guy's... if that guy's last name is that crazy, there's no way his first name is not something longer than Tua.
Yeah.
So I Googled it, and I did what you did. I was like, I was like, Tua, and then I stopped, and I was like, I can't say that.
It's like the place across the street from McCracken's when that place first opened. I was like, what's it called? It's
the Black House.
Like Black House. I was like, am I allowed to call it that?
I still think
the African American house.
Billy, I still think that the best thing to happen would be if there was another Monday Mike there that was run by a white comic. So that we had a white comic running the mic at the Black House. And then we have
White Knight
Mellow,
at the Black House.
Mellow Black running the open mic at Johnny McCracken's. And then here's the thing. Then everybody could get 2 spots.
Kyle White at the Black House. And then you can go over to
who's
Mellow Black's mic.
Who has the best name?
Johnny
for it?
McCracken's Irish.
Dude, let's be real. Billy Willig is a pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty white. Yeah.
Billy Willig at the Black House. Is that the name of this episode?
They were closed last time I went there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have. I feel like they have weird hours. They might be like not really open Mondays.
Yeah. Or maybe they just weren't making a lot of money on Mondays.
Maybe. I've seen, but like sometimes it seems like they're open on Mondays and there's people in there, and sometimes they're just not.
Last Monday, my friend was there, and this guy came up off the street and was just like, "Hey, do you guys know there's like a sports bar nearby here, and we went there once before, and we're not sure where it is." And my buddy was just like been drinking, being an asshole. He was like, "Oh yeah, you're thinking of Black House," and they're like, "No, it wasn't Black House. It was like another place or whatever." And they started describing it more, and he was like, "Yeah, Black House is right there."
Yeah. The best is that it's spelled with a Q.
That means like they're QAnon supporters, I think.
That is, ooh. What if? Do you think they have a basement?
I saw a "Where We Go One, We Go All" bumper sticker in the wild recently.
Really?
It was on the back of a Mustang. It was like an old white lady with like cigarette skin driving.
That kind of fit, yeah.
Yeah, and it was in like Woodstock.
In Woodstock?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess they're working their way south now.
They're out there, man.
They sure are.
That's a wild one. I feel like those people just like, you got to be pretty stupid to believe.
I mean, they fell into a cult.
But that's like, how stupid can you be?
It's, dude, I'm telling, it's cult shit. It's literally like, cults are weird in that they don't really, like, smart people can get caught up. You ever heard of Michael Malice?
I've heard of it.
He's got a thing that he says where he's like, it's easier to train a smart dog.
Okay.
So like cult, it's about conditioning you to like basically get this thing, and it like it triggers your brain into being like, no, I've got to go with whatever this thing is, and like that's the thing that I'm locked on to.
But the concept of that one is just like a government insider is posting on 4chan, the place that's known for hoaxes and
I'm not saying it's smart, but
chaos, and he's making a bunch of spelling errors and like
people
basically types
real
like
desperate.
A 12-year-old. Use some logical reasoning. Maybe I'm like an old school internet guy. Maybe I have a better nose for bullshit on the internet.
You do. That's part of it, is that a lot of it was older people who were newer to the internet.
Yeah.
They didn't know that 4chan is the scam spot.
Yeah.
So they were just like, I'm hearing stuff I like on the internet. Let me look into that a little bit more. And now they're fucking caught in the cult.
But how did they even find 4chan or Akun?
Facebook.
Or these like yeah, you're right.
Facebook, dude. Facebook is the gateway.
Facebook is the problem.
Dude, the Zuck.
What the heck is going on with Facebook?
Bro, wait till the metaverse when all the QAnon people can like meet up. have rallies in the metaverse.
Remember that when the what was it, like the Southern like militia group had an event on the same day as the Muslims in Texas or whatever? It was like some Russian troll put together like a QAnon rally and a Muslims of Texas rally on the same day. And
that's what happened at Charlottesville.
Sicked them on each other. Charlottesville, it felt like the feds were involved in that.
Well, so from what I understand is basically there were the whatever 100 actual white supremacists on Reddit that all met up and were doing their tiki torch thing.
Yeah.
And then there was a separate licensed protest happening like nearby. And they were doing like a route, and they were routed into the white supremacists. So like they could have not interacted at all.
That's why I could never fall into one of these political cults, man, is because like you just see.
I got close for a while.
You see how much of a sucker these people are, and I don't ever want to be the sucker in any.
Yeah, I got close for a while, but I set stop for myself in my head.
Like Pizzagate.
No,
or
well,
not Pizzagate.
Here's the thing, Pizzagate.
Because you don't like when I call it Pizzagate.
Pizzagate also aged better than I don't know.
Because my thing is, I call it Pizzagate, but I don't believe in the Comet Pizza has children tied up in the basement.
That was like
obviously.
the PSYOP thing.
Yeah.
And it's not, because that's basically what Pizzagate was the PSYOP to like try to delegitimize the fact that there are a lot of very powerful people that are pedophiles.
Yeah.
And they all know about it and they're all working together.
And I think there is some like satanic element to it. Like they got some black magic going on.
Yeah.
I believe in that because of the Bilderberg group and the Moloch worship and stuff like that.
The Bohemian Grove.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of think of the Bohemian Grove less as like they're going to the Bohemian Grove to do these deals and all that. That's the Bilderberg group. Like that's the Trilateral Commission.
For sure.
What's it called? Fuck, I lost it. The one in the woods.
The Bohemian
Grove, I think, is literally where they party.
Yeah.
I think it's actually
what's
just
the deal
like,
with the Moloch shit?
I mean, if you go party with your family, they make you pray, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of, I think it's kind of that equivalent where it's like, look, guys, we're going to cut loose. We'll do a little ceremony and then we'll, send off and do our thing.
I think there's something left over from like ancient Egypt or something like that. Like something's been passed on and we just don't know about it in these like clubs of.
Yeah, but here's the thing is I think that there's no way that they have it right.
Maybe.
I think that maybe they were passed some real piece of ancient knowledge that was powerful.
Yeah.
But I don't think that they still have. I think that it's like they have a shell of that.
Yeah, I guess if they did, like Hillary Clinton would have beat Trump by drinking baby's blood.
Yeah. But no, I think they lost it.
Because it is weird, these like politicians and stuff, they are just so hungry for power. And it's like, what does that really get you? Like,
what was it didn't that one like Feinstein lady just die in office?
Yeah.
And people have been saying for years that you should, like, lady, you're in the hospital and you won't give up power.
That's nuts, man. And what's his face? The guy who keeps freezing up, blue screening?
McConnell.
Yeah.
Blue screening.
It's like, come on, man. This is why we need term limits on these offices.
Did you see the video of Joe Biden walk away?
No.
There's one where they're doing like I don't even I think it's outside of a school. It's like an education thing, and there's a speech, and there's a lady that walks up behind a podium and starts giving a speech, and Biden's kind of standing off to one side with his hands in his pockets, and then he just kind of suddenly goes, and then he just walks away.
Forgets where he is.
He
completely.
just walks off frame. It's so funny.
It is weird, man, because Biden used to be like
a good liar,
a respected like politician. Like,
yeah, we said the same thing.
Yeah, a good liar, and they all are for sure. They're all bought and paid for by corporations. That's the problem. Is like special interest groups and super PACs and BlackRock and Vanguard and whatnot. That's why I'm voting for my favorite anti-vaxxer, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Hell yeah. I don't know, man. I'm liking Vivek. That guy is...
Oh, the guy, he's like an Indian guy, right?
Yeah.
And he's saying some wild stuff.
Dude, well, he's saying like, I have these things. I mean, if he comes even a little close, he's going to get shot probably.
Yeah. He's like saying there should be no laws and whatnot.
He's not saying there should be no. He's saying that basically these like branches of the government, like CIA, basically this whole administrative state that is the deep state, effectively. He's like, this is all not constitutional, and these are things that are in the founding documents that, as the president, would give me the power to day one walk in and just shut all of that down.
He said something wild.
He's saying he's going to do stuff like that.
But people always say that, and then once they get in office, it never happens. It was the same
nobody
with Trump.
Nobody says that. Nobody gives you a plan of the exact laws they're going to invoke to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they would kill him for sure. They would find a way.
And RFK they'll probably kill if... I mean, he's not really allowed on the news.
Isn't it wild they killed Epstein and there's nothing we can do about it?
Yeah.
They did it in plain sight and just can't
Yeah, and
there's no retribution for that.
nothing.
Nobody has to be accountable for
Where's that black book?
Yeah, and then they did the Ghislaine Maxwell trial,
And
they didn't
release anything.
air it at all to the public. And then, of course, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard is like front page YouTube every day.
Yeah. Well, this has all happened before.
It's so blatant, man. What?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You ever heard of the Franklin cover-up?
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing that happened 20 years before.
So blatant, man. It's just sad.
And it basically shook out almost exactly the same. I mean, not exactly the same way, but like the beginning is a little bit different. The middle is weirdly the same, which is just the elites are pedophiles.
Yeah.
But like that one was like they found hippies in a van that had kidnapped children.
Yeah.
So they found basically the like bottom level.
At what point do you make enough money where like you're like, okay, I'm gonna be a pedophile now, or is it that they're always pedophiles and they just
I think
get
it's
a bunch of money?
I think it's around 700. It's probably.
You think Elon's a pedophile? He's kind of like our guy, but not really.
Yeah, I
like,
think so.
He's like half our guy, half
Yeah. No, I don't think he is because I think he's too autistic for that.
maybe. Yeah.
You know, like I.
But for an autistic guy, he pulls some bitches, man. Grimes, Amber Heard.
Yeah.
You know.
Wait, he went for like post Johnny Depp Amber Heard?
No, before Johnny or after they dated. I know at some point he dated Amber Heard.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he posted a picture of her dressed up as Mercy from Overwatch as like a fetish thing. Yeah, it's pretty hot.
Okay.
Hey, I have a daughter. I've cleaned up a lot of girls' shit. I would still let Amber Heard get it.
Wow. Okay. Well, now you're like equipped for it. You can like handle it.
It's no big deal to me.
I know
Clean
what
up a
to
little
do,
girl's
yeah.
shit. I don't care. Whatever. See, we all get mad sometimes. We
Fuck
all have
that,
emotions.
dude.
She's
Billy-
hot, man.
Billy, I've never once shit on somebody's things because I was mad. I've done it because I was drunk.
I had a
Not 'cause I was
friend.
mad.
One time, my brother, we all went to this pool in this girl's neighborhood, and this Karen came along and was like, which of y'all live here? And the one girl raised her hand, and we were all there. It was like church youth group people. We were just hanging out, not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
Like eating pizza, drinking soda. Like,
Yeah.
that's it.
Being real vanilla.
Yeah. It was like church youth group friends, no nefarious, no sex, no drugs, no
Yeah.
alcohol. And this Karen comes up. She's like, who lives here? The one girl raises her hand. She's like, you're only allowed to have one guest at the pool. And she's like, oh, well, these are just my church friends. Like, we're just.
Dude, some
Hanging
people are a problem.
So then my brother and his friends decided that they were going to TP the whole neighborhood because they didn't know which house she lived in. So they were just going to hit them all.
That is commitment.
So we went to Walmart. We bought every package of toilet paper they had, and we got in the
Pre-pandemic.
2 or 3 pickup trucks. Oh yeah, it was bountiful back then, and we
wasn't a
TP'd the
problem.
entire neighborhood. And then one of the guys took a dump on a paper plate and threw it into the pool. So.
Yeah, like frisbeed it or like
He pooped onto the paper plate and then threw it over the fence into the pool, and they had to drain the whole pool.
That's what they got to do. That's good. I'm glad. It would be way worse if they didn't drain the whole pool.
So, that's 100% sober guy right there. Just taking a shit on something because he didn't like them.
Just living life.
He was a wild kid, though.
Yeah, I imagine.
Yeah.
Probably would be.
Yeah. One of those guys who had like 10 brothers and sisters, so it's like probably not getting the attention that a child needs.
Yeah.
Because how can you when you have 2 parents and 10 children? I don't know.
That's how they used to do it, man.
I don't know what would possess somebody to have 10 kids.
Dude, my dad is the youngest of 11.
Jeez. Catholic? Just crazy?
Just regular old Christian, but just like
Oh, okay. Like
a Protestant.
yeah,
you
like
know.
one of those guys.
I grew up like non-denominational, like Baptist, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine was like Church of God.
Out in the woods.
Church of God, but there's two churches of God. There's Church of God Indiana, and then there's like the Southern Church of God, and those are the dudes who do like the snake handling.
Oh yeah, those are fun.
Yeah, there was a place in Georgia like I want to say out like east, but like rural Georgia, and they were claiming that
they don't do that in cities usually.
I wonder about the churches in Atlanta. I'm like, what's up with those?
A guy with a collar walks into a snake shop, and the guy's like, Gary, we can't keep selling you these rattlers.
I wonder, when you're going down to do like comedy in like Old Fourth Ward and you see these like Christian churches, I'm like, what are they doing in there? Because they can't be doing the same thing we're doing out here in Marietta. It can't be the
You
same.
mean like at in the churches?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like probably kind of similar.
Gotta be some kind of communism manifesto going on in there.
No, that's all the colleges.
This place out in Georgia, it was out by like the Georgia Guidestones, I think, in that area.
Rest in peace.
And they were claiming that they had a Bible that was producing oil, like mass amounts of oil.
What kind of oil?
Like miraculous. Look up like Georgia Bible oil. Even like miracle or something. This is wild, dude. The oil Bible of Dalton. Dalton sucks, dude. And that's more like Northwest, I think. That's
What
up
the
like
fuck?
75. Yeah, they were claiming that this Bible spontaneously produces oil. Oh, they have a prophecy about Donald Trump. In the summer of 2016, God gave Johnny Taylor a prophecy. This is what I'm talking about, man. How can you be this stupid? I guess you never read the Bible, but it literally says in the Bible, look out for false prophets.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
It says there will be no more prophets after Jesus, so make sure you look out for false prophets. And then they're all like, the Bible is spontaneously producing miraculous oil? Must be legit.
It sounds like check this man for Crisco.
Yeah, they were doing something behind closed doors, man.
Yeah.
And then who's in on that? Is his wife in on it? Is his kids in on it? Maybe it was. I can't say. I don't have that authority. But if I had to guess, I would say that God is gonna put this dude in his mouth and then spit him out. Bible flowing with oil, something people are calling a modern miracle, continues to gather huge crowds. You
want to stop by?
You think this little church in Dalton, is it still going?
There's articles from 2020, so who knows?
We should go right now for the podcast. Be like, yo, where's the miracle oil Bible? Let me see that thing.
Let me get greasy.
I bet they say like, nah, you can't touch it or something like that.
Yeah.
It's always some caveat.
I feel like the only way you could prove that would be to put it in a case that's sealed and then just have like a bucket under it that you just watch fill with oil.
But they would never let a journalist like run a test on it.
No.
They would come up with some excuse.
No. Yeah, you got to be...
Look at that church. It looks like the comedy mothership.
I like my Bible oozing.
Is that even a church or is it just in like an old...
slippery Bible?
Because sometimes they just be having church at like...
wherever,
convention centers and whatnot.
Like wherever.
Like a high school gym.
I like a good old strip mall church.
Yeah.
Those are always fun.
Yeah.
An old movie theater church.
Elevation Church, they do the strip mall thing. I think they do that. But it's like a chain church. It's like the McDonald's of churches.
No, there's that's a thing now.
What about Mormonism, man? Like,
pretty fun.
You take the most unbelievable story in history, one of the most, like, if you believe the Bible, you have to believe in like divination, right? Like you have to suspend the reality of science and like hard evidence. And then you take that and then you add the DLC to it and you're just like
the DLC. Yeah.
Sounds legit.
It's like Cyberpunk and Phantom Liberty.
I guess it's just convenient for some people, right? It's easier.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have to I don't have to go out and make friends. I can just join this cult, and then these are my friends now.
That's kind of the thing that, like, man, my dad wants me to start going to church again, but I'm like, everything I remember about that is exactly what you like read about cults doing. Like every cult that went bad also did all of those things.
I would say like I believe in God, but I'm not a fan of organized religion.
Yeah,
and even the story of Jesus, I like the message of like it's about sacrifice, and it's about like basically this guy who, whatever you believe, he's divine. And he has never sinned in his whole life, and then he takes everybody's problems onto himself, and he dies for them. And that's a good story. That's a
pretty
good,
metal, yeah.
That's a good message. That's something you can live by. But then when you go to these,
I don't like
churches,
metal readings, so.
it is pretty metal. But then you go to some of these churches, and they just want you to join their cult.
Yeah,
and it's hard to find one that's not like that. Yeah.
Make lots of babies so that you can raise more children into the cult.
You ever go to the square during the day?
I have.
Where there's like a guy standing on a soapbox with a megaphone, like preaching about Jesus.
I've seen that guy.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing, man? Nobody asked you to do this. Nowhere in the Bible does it say go stand on a soapbox with a karaoke machine and
it says
yell
go
at people.
It says go spread the word, but yelling it through a megaphone seems like the least effective way you could possibly do that. It seems like the easiest way to turn people off from all of your ideas.
Yeah, even Christians are walking by like, can you shut up,
chill
man?
Out.
We're trying to hang out at this old monument to racism. Like, relax.
I'm trying to read these racist plaques.
Oh, this is where we hung that Jewish guy. Now I know.
That's a very Marietta crime, I feel like.
Yeah, it's legit. It used to be a Pokestop. It was
what?
Like, when Pokemon Go first came out, it was like, all the historic landmarks would be Pokestops. There was like a lynching memorial that was a Pokestop.
Wait, a lynching memorial?
Yeah.
That feels like something that shouldn't have been made.
Well, it was like, this was bad. We don't want to do this.
Oh, okay. It is funny when you look at... I used to be like, don't tear down the statues. And then I found out that those statues were put up in like the 60s.
Like
and I'm
Jim
like,
Crow era.
Oh, no. Go ahead and tear... That's fine. You can tear those down.
I did one show. I don't want to know where it is, but... well, I mean, I don't want to say where it is because I don't want to put that guy on blast because he pays really well. And my set wasn't going that well. And like halfway through the set, I was like, you think I care what you guys think? You got a Confederate monument like in my eyesight right now. I don't care.
Hell yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing is like you can't dime him out because if he's paying you well, then that's specifically anti the thing that was the problem, right? Is not paying people. He's being like, do this for me and
they're
don't
trying to
pay.
do better.
Yeah. So there's an improvement.
But I say, take
that was a little rough to say.
Take the statues down. Even Stone Mountain. Put Outcast on there. I'm totally with that.
Put Outcast on there?
Yeah, Stone Mountain is like a...
Actually, that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
If they put Outcast on Stone Mountain.
Stone Mountain's like, it's like Robert E. Lee and like all the Confederate
was that
generals.
Made, by the way?
Probably Jim Crow era, because that's a man-made structure. It's not like a real mountain.
Wait, the mountain?
Yeah, the mountain itself is like a man-made. It's the largest man-made mountain or hill.
Yeah, it was made in
72.
Holy shit.
Fatlanta, come on.
That is way too late.
That ain't right.
Wow.
Oh, it began in 1915. All right. When was the Civil War?
It took them a while.
1800s?
Yeah, mid-1800s, I think.
1860 or something like that. Quartz, Monzonite, Dome, Monadnock. I don't know.
No, I'm pretty sure it's a giant rock.
Are you sure? Well,
I mean, it's if there's one giant face of rock for them to carve on, I don't know how they could have made that.
So I don't know. It's a igneous intrusion. What does that mean? Pluton.
Some nerd shit, man.
You think they got like there's something under there?
I mean,
it is formed as the result of upwelling magma from within the Earth's crust.
yeah, it was a while ago.
That's pretty metal. It's like a bubble.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not interested in reading this anymore.
It's like a magma bubble. But yeah, I think it's the largest Confederate monument in the South. Maybe in the
probably.
country. And I say, put Outkast on there. That's fine.
It would be, yeah. I think it would be a lot better.
People would support that. There can't be that many people that support.
Put like Outkast. You need 4 though, right? So it's like Outkast, Freddie Freeman.
It's home to the fairy shrimp. So they already got the queers in there.
Oh shit. I didn't expect that at all.
Hey, they're queer. Get over it.
No, I'm over it. All right, buddy. We've been going an hour.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man, that was quick.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good place to end it, I guess.
That's part of why I laughed so hard, because I was like getting ready to wrap it up. And then you dropped that.
All right, thanks for watching. We're here. We're queer. Get over it. Put Outkast on Stone Mountain. Peace.